Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back. So I know I made a video a little while back talking about how morning routines are overrated. Well, that was some BS. So we're gonna actually talk about the perfect morning routine. This is actually gonna get your day going. This is going to boost your mood, boost your workflow, um, hormonal profile, health, like literally everything you can think of in this morning routine will be aided by this. And it's nothing crazy, it's nothing elaborate. I still stand on the fact that you shouldn't have like a 14-step morning routine. And it should be the basics and they should be done, um, yeah, they should just, be basic stuff. So, perfect morning routine. Let's get into it. So, here we go. This is my amazing slide I made. We got first thing, morning sunlight. And then we get on the word, the Bible. And with that also comes like prayer, right? It's kind of hand in hand. So, you know, we're not just reading the Bible, we're not just praying, we're doing both. It's a little hybrid. Um, and then we got a cold shower, and we'll get to that. Cold showers have been kind of clowned on, and kind of rightfully so, because some people act like it's a miracle cure to everything, but they do have some crazy benefits. So, and we're gonna talk about those. So let's roll, guys. All right, morning sunlight. Explain why you should do it and why you should do it first thing before anything else. I'll get into that as well. So you get a cortisol spike, which I know a lot of people like to, say is a terrible, evil thing. And it is if it's done at the wrong time of day. All right. So we got to take that into account here. But it's really good in the morning. It's really good upon waking. You don't want, what you want really is your cortisol to be high in the morning, then kind of just get lower and lower throughout the day until the nighttime when your cortisol is low and you go to bed. Now, I don't know if it's constantly lower throughout the day. I don't really think so. There's dips, there's bursts of energy that you get, and a lot of this is attributed to cortisol, right? Cortisol will actually it'll give you energy, it'll keep you alert. And you want that. You do want that. A healthy sleep system, a healthy person has cortisol spikes in the morning. Now, from like things like this, not like, yelling at somebody at their work. That's not what you want. It's kind of a different type of cortisol spike. You feel me? So, but it's good in the morning, and it's really good, especially from these natural things like morning sunlight. It also activates your circadian rhythm. So, if the first thing you do is go outside, um, and you go out for 15 to 20 minutes, right? It's kind of like on the upper echelon of how much you need to be out there. If you go outside first thing in the morning, about 16 hours later, your body is naturally going to want to fall asleep. It's pretty much just like it's an automatic thing. Like it's not really um it's pretty hard for your body to not want to fall asleep 16 hours later if you get morning sunlight first thing. And interestingly enough, that would mean you get 8 hours of sleep a night, right? It's not exactly 16, it can be like 15, it can be 17, but in that ballpark range. So that's really good for your sleep as well. You also get vitamin D, as you do with the sunlight in general. You get vitamin D. So I don't. It's kind of you know a given, but still needs to be mentioned. It also improves skin, so it improves your skin elasticity. It can also help with things like rashes. I don't know. It's kind of gross. Maybe like eczema. Uh, irritation, acne as well. I feel like a lot of people, including myself, although my skin looks freaking plump, in this lighting, like bro, right here, yeah, that's a good example. Even I myself, the goat, has acne, right? So What are you supposed to do? So, it does help with that though. And I can also attest to that. Like, it definitely does. When I'm kind of a inside like little crawler, my acne is kind of messed up. So yeah, it's good for that. It also boosts dopamine, and with that, it boosts motivation because dopamine is kind of the motivation hormone. So, if your baseline dopamine is very high, it's actually an issue. And, you want to have a low baseline, but this, giving you that boost, that natural boost will actually be good. Now, this is kind of a niche benefit, but neuroprotection. So basically, it has been found that people who get morning sunlight are less susceptible to getting dementia and other neurologically degrading diseases. So that's very, very interesting. When I was like researching the neurological benefits, like the big time ones, that kind of stuck out to me because I had heard that before, but I was really surprised still because it's like, dang, like just this activity will give you so much. Also for like the time you want to be out there, 5 minutes is fine. Even on like a cloudy day, if it's all you can do, that's fine. But 20 to 30 minutes is probably ideal if you have the time. I personally do 20, 15 to 20. I just walk around in my backyard. It's also good to walk while doing this because you get optic flow first thing in the morning, which is a whole different ball game. But basically, it's good for like focus and alertness and also neuroprotection as well. All right. That being said, the Bible and prayer. All right. So this allows you to put on the armor of God for the day, right? It allows you to protect yourself from the evils, the wiles of this world, and allows you to spend time with God. Now, this is, it's kind of assumed, especially within the Orthodox faith, that you have a morning prayer rule and an evening prayer rule. So it's already kind of a given that you are praying in the morning. And there's also the epistle and the gospel of the day within the Orthodox liturgical calendar. And then it does differ depending on which one you're following. Um, so, it gives you Bible readings daily and you follow the calendar of the church. It sets the tone for the day as well. Like if you don't pray and you don't read your Bible in the morning, it's kind of like you just don't really like you're not going to keep God throughout your day and your life, and you're just going to focus on this world and yourself. And of course, we need to focus on things in this world, and we need to I guess take time for ourselves to do what we need to do. But you need to keep God in that throughout the day. Also, if you're not really like a religious bro, that's fine. But prayer has been shown to strengthen your prefrontal cortex and decrease amygdala activity. So your prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that makes you a human being, right? It's like your rational part of your brain. It makes decisions, um, things like that, right? Where you would otherwise, if you're an animal, you just kind of act on impulse. Your prefrontal cortex makes sure you don't. It also decreases amygdala activity, which is your fear part of your brain. So it can reduce anxiety and stress and things like that, especially if you're focused on the prayer. The same thing goes with the Bible. If you're focused on the Bible and the message of it, it can really help. So, with that being said, cold showers. All right, so I do these last, so you can also like brush your teeth, wash your face, and do like all the morning hygiene stuff you need to get done. If you have hair longer than me, I guess do your hair too. Right now, I don't have to do that, which is kind of nice. It also improves blood circulation. This is kind of the biggest one. This is the most well reported one. So this is really good. I guess you could also say for heart health and whatnot, cardiovascular health. It's great for that. Skin and hair benefits. It can block the pores, I guess, right? Like in your skin. I heard about the skin and hair benefits. I low-key didn't do, like, a ton of research on it, but there definitely is skin and hair benefits, and I can personally attest to it. When I was really locked in on cold showers, like, I just stopped doing them kind of in the springtime because I had work at night, not super late at night, but I would sleep in later for school, so I wouldn't be waking up super early, and so I just didn't have the time to do that, which was a fair trade-off. Like, I'm glad I did that, but I didn't have time to do a whole cold shower, and, my skin kinda, like, wasn't as good, it is what it is. Not a huge deal, it wasn't, like, crazy worse. It's also good for metabolic health, basically, like, your ability to burn calories, whatnot. It's good for, teenagers to do this, but especially people who are older and their metabolism isn't as, good and active as it was when they were a wee lad. 250% dopamine increase has been shown to occur in a cold shower, which is literally more than creatine, right? I'm gonna leave it at that. Certain substances that you can use, it's literally been shown to have a bigger increase in dopamine than that, which is unbelievable. And not only that, but the high also remains for hours on end. And it's not like you crash down afterwards. So, dude, that was the thing that convinced me to get back on cold showers. People talk about it like it's some miracle thing. It isn't, but it also has insane benefits that should not be overlooked at all. Um, and yeah, basically, this is it, guys. This is what we got going on. Just going back here. Yeah, we got Bible prayer. So, 20 minutes of sunlight, if possible. Prayer rule, the lectionary, gospel, and epistle of the day. And I would say with cold showers, start with like 1 minute and then just progress up until you get to five. I'm personally at like three right now because I'm getting back into it for the summertime. But yeah, go until you get to five. Beyond five, there's not really like much more you can really do. And if you have a cold plunge, utilize that thing because that is very, very good. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it. This is the perfect morning routine. It's 3 steps. It's not very elaborate, but it'll give you the best bang for your buck possible. And as always, guys, God bless.